I got an email not long ago from a anonymous person who won't mention their name, claiming that these dog trainers like Garrett Wing and Robert Cabral and whatnot don't even know my name. The fuck they don't. Robert Cabral took down my YouTube channel. Then he went to his Facebook page like a little 5-year-old girl screaming, "I'm being attacked and slandered, please help me." But he won't fucking dare mention my name. Garrett Wing's the same way. He knows my name. Let me tell you a story about Garrett Wing, and I got all the receipts to prove all this shit, okay? If you want proof, I'll give you fucking proof. A couple of years ago, one of his employees came into my group on Facebook, okay, where we practice radical behaviorism, not dog training. Dog training is not allowed to be talked about. Now, that person came in, they were so frustrated because positive reinforcement didn't work, the balance training didn't work, the IGP training didn't work, they wanted something different. So they learned all about the science of radical behaviorism, and they were preaching radical behaviorism. Well, guess what? I had done a reaction video to Garrett Wing, and it looks like that video's been taken down. I'd love to do another reaction to it, where he had a Malinois pup tied to a tree, and he's abusing the ever-loving shit out of this poor dog. So I did a reaction video. That employee of his turned around and took that reaction video and put it on their personal Facebook profile. And let me tell you something, that pissed Garrett off something awful. That employee got fired. So don't sit there and fucking tell me that Garrett Wing doesn't know my name. He's too scared to utter my fucking name. But we're going to talk, Garrett. You can't hide forever. Let's have a look at this video and talk about certified dog trainers.
Folks, be very careful who you send your dog to for professional training.
Professional training is what you know as IGP dog training. And all the tools, all the treats, toys, the clickers, the prongs, the e-collars, the crates, the muzzles, these are all tools of IGP dog training. Under Konrad Most, right? Right, Garrett? But the thing of it is, they don't want you to know that. All of these tools are belong to IGP dog training, and the real quarters of dog training under Konrad Most are primary and secondary inducement. There's your food and affection, and then there's primary compulsive inducements, secondary compulsive inducements. That's why balance training is also known as compulsive based dog training, but Garrett Wing doesn't want you to know that because it'll kill his fucking business.
We continue to find that most dog trainers seem to have no idea what the hell they're doing.
And Garrett Wing couldn't find his own ass with a map either. I want to see Garrett Wing working with a serious case with no tools. Get rid of all the treats, get rid of all the muzzles, all the prongs and e-collars, and you show us you doing a job like that. I could train a monkey to treat train a dog. I could train a monkey to use a prong collar or an e-collar. It doesn't say much about dog trainer skills. And let me tell you something, Garrett. I'm getting fed up with those goddamn lies. From all dog training. What you're pushing is methodological behaviorism under Edward Thorndike. And the first two rules of methodological behaviorism, number one rule, don't you dare compare human behavior to that of lesser species. And what is rule number two of methodological behaviorism and Konrad Most? Behead the dog. They take the head off the dog metaphorically. Why? Because they don't care about the brain. They don't care about the emotions. They don't care about the mind. All they're doing is focusing on behavior and shutting down behavior. And that's not what Skinner was saying. Skinner would tell you point blank that punishing contingencies are just the reverse of reinforcing. But this is not convenient to people like Garrett Wing, okay? Again, punishing contingencies are just the reverse of reinforcing. And if punishment doesn't work, then reward doesn't work. If you don't understand that, go look up Alfie Kohn. He wrote a beautiful book called Punished by Rewards. But all this guy knows to do is create transactional relationships. Dependent dogs, not independent dogs. Every breed is supposed to be working independently of the owner. Every dog is supposed to be independent. But all they do is force comply management. Control the management. Comply, comply, comply. You're creating a dependent dog. That's not what you want. Personally, I ask dog owners what you want from your dog. Number one response, I want a calm dog. I want an independent dog. They don't want a well-trained dog. Not once have I ever heard the fucking terms, I want a well-trained dog. Now, let's get into the certifications, because dog trainers themselves are certified in a combination of methodological behaviorism and Konrad fucking Most in his book Training Dogs. You're certified under Konrad Most quadrants of dog training, which is also known as fucking IGP. The entire system of dog training is IGP, formerly known as Schutzhund. But this is not convenient to people like Garrett Wing. All he does is abuse dogs for money. That's the reality. Okay, so when you look at radical behaviorism, it's completely different from methodological behaviorism. There's a reason for it, because radical behaviorism would tell you to replace your dog with a human child and ask you what you would do different. Why? Because that's what Skinner was doing in his lab. He replaced humans with dogs, pigeons, and rats, and he did experiments on these animals to understand human behavior. Humans were the target of his research, not the dog. He wasn't training dogs. He wasn't using friggin' reward and punishment. He was using reinforcements, creating abnormal behaviors in dogs. And that's what it all boils down to. That's what dog trainers are supposed to be doing. Creating abnormal behaviors in dogs. Sitting is a default behavior. Every dog will sit. When you teach your dog to do it on command as an abnormal behavior. What is a behavior, Garrett? This is the word that's not fucking worthy of talking about, right? No dog trainer wants to talk about behavior. They can't define the word behavior. They can't define the word aggression. They can't define the word reactivity. It's not convenient to them. They don't need to because all they do is look at behavior subjectively, something you can shut down through punishment. And they all blame Skinner. Skinner would tell you again that punishing contingencies are just a reverse of reinforcing. All it does is serve to create weakness and fear. So what are you getting on with, Garrett? Dog trainers are certified in Konrad Most and methodological behaviorism under Edward Thorndike. There are no certifications for radical behaviorism. That's the reality. So when dog trainers come at me going, where's your certifications? You can go fuck yourself.
They're giving away certificates like they come out of crack.
Yeah, you know what? Dog trainers certifying dog trainers. And dog trainers are only pushing Konrad Most and methodological behaviorism, and that's exactly what other dog trainers are learning. They're not learning radical behaviorism under Skinner because there's no money in it. Once dog owners understand radical behaviorism, replace your dog with a human child and ask you what you would do different, every dog trainer right now is fired. And that's not convenient because dog training right now, according to Robert Cabral, he created this pet care conglomerate, him and Larry Crone 20 years ago, and it turned it into a $100 billion industry. That's the reality. What is this $100 billion industry? It contains dog trainers, dog behaviorists, vets and vet behaviorists, dog food, all of the tools of IGP dog training, and everything else included. And you're paying for that. You can see Hans Othman, he's got a friggin' supercar in the backyard. That's exactly what you're paying for. Dog daddies with their friggin' all the flash and the Corvette and everything else. This is what you're paying for. And all they're doing is abusing dogs.
Jack boxes.
And that's what are your certifications, Garrett? What are you certified in? What are you pushing? I know what it is. Konrad Most training dogs, but yet not one dog trainer wants to talk about Konrad Most. It's the most hidden name in dog training. Why? Because if you get on camera with me, we're going to be reading from Konrad Most's book, and we're going to be reading from Skinner's books. And let me tell you something. When you start opening your frickin' trap about Konrad Most, the entire dog training industry is going to come down and kick your frickin' ass. And you're going to have dog owners kicking your ass too. That's not convenient. So they double down and triple down on the lies to keep this shit going. Dog owners, you need to wake up. You've been lied to for the last 30 fucking years. That's the reality. And it's not doing you and your dog any good. Once you understand and define the word behavior, once you define what aggression and reactivity is, behavioral euthanasia and punishment are off the table. But yet millions of dogs are dead, millions of owners' lives are destroyed, the trail of destruction is incredible through all this shit, but nobody's allowed to talk about it. And let's get a show of hands. How many dog owners right now are living like a hostage in their own homes? They don't trust their dog. That's a direct result of dog training like people like frickin' Garrett Wing, because all they want to do is make money. That's the reality.
Seems to be, like Kibo being the case in point here, that he went to a board and train program just a couple months ago, and the boy doesn't even have a verbal down. How?
And here's the problem. Board and train, you're actually putting your dog in the hands of somebody else. You're seeing 10 or 15 minute clips online, but you're not seeing all the abuse that goes on in the backyard. You're not seeing all the abuse that goes on off camera. Number one rule, but Konrad Most, he laid out rules for beating the dog into submission with that Schutzhund stick. And guess what? Garrett Wing is a Schutzhund trainer, IGP. That's the reality. Konrad laid out rules for beating the dog into submission. And this is what you're pushing on your own dog. You don't even realize it.
How on earth is that possible? And do you one better? He's got...
Because dog trainers aren't training shit. People are going to dog trainer after dog trainer after dog trainer, spending thousands of fucking dollars and not getting anywhere. And all they're hearing, the dog can't be fixed. Kill the dog. But yet dog trainers out there going, oh, we don't kill dogs. Well, somebody fucking is.
E-collar training. How do we know? Because the owner was...
Oh, the e-collar training, yes. Look at Garrett Wing. All he ever does, I mean, when I looked at that video of him working with a 100-pound Rottweiler, he had a freaking prong collar right on the thyroid and the trachea, and Garrett at 200 pounds is just winding up and just getting ready to yank that thing. But yet he dares call this dog training. He dares calls this behaviorism. He's an asshole, a dog abuser. But yet he won't open his mouth to me.
Sent home with a high-powered boss unit. Homeboy doesn't even need a high-powered boss unit. He's actually highly sensitive to the e-collar, so that's the...
Get rid of all the tools. Once again, I could train a monkey to train a dog. I could train a monkey to use a prong collar and an e-collar. Show us some actual skills. It's not saying much about dog trainers' ability to train a dog, and you're not training dogs. 20 years ago, all these tools were a last resort. Used to treat, train the dog, get rid of the friggin' treat. Today, here we are 20 years later. Always have a treat bag in your side. Dog trainers 20 years ago, oh, tools, e-collar and the prong, it's a last resort. Use it and lose it. But yet today, it's always leave it on the fucking dog. Now it's an insurance policy. Why are these tools an insurance policy, Garrett? Because they were never training tools in the first fucking place. They're tools of control and management. You're creating narcissistic dog owners who want to control and manage every aspect of their dog's life. You're creating a dependent dog, and people are wondering why this shit isn't working.
Concern number one. The second concern is that when he feels e-collar pressure, you can tell that it was used in an old school.
E-collar pressure. There's the word. Oh, every fucking dog trainer is out there using the word pressure. That's not a word from Skinner's books. That's a word from Konrad Most's book. Pressure is mentioned 32 times in Konrad Most's book, and it's always negative.
Manner, as an aversive, as a hammer, because feeling.
Because all you have is a fucking nail. You look at the dog as a nail. There's something to drive. You can't use a screwdriver on it. All you have is a nail. All you have is a fucking hammer. Everything has to be a nail. And we're using the same bullshit cookie cutter techniques called dog training on every fucking dog that's different.
The lowest level possible, he would freak out and panic and not understand what that pressure is and where it's coming from. So, classic hallmark signs of a dog trainer that simply doesn't know.
Throw dog training in the garbage and focus on the psychology, the behavioral psychology. Once dog owners understand psychology, behavioral psychology, dog training goes into fucking garbage. Keep your money in your pocket. You are the only one that can develop a solid relationship of trust and respect with your dog. But yet dog trainers are telling you, you can't do it on your own. You got to hire us. You got to pay us to do it. And they don't give a fuck about relationship. What is a relationship? What is man's best friend? What is a human best friend? You trust that person. You respect that person. You're confident in that person. You know that person has your back and they wouldn't put you in harm's way. Does the dog know that? Because if the dog doesn't know that, then you don't have any fucking trust. And if you don't have a trust for your dog, and your dog doesn't have trust for you, then you don't have a relationship. You have a toxic relationship. A transactional relationship of reward and punishment. That's not a relationship. You're creating a dependent dog when all you want is an independent dog, a free-thinking dog. That's what I have. And you know what? I didn't train my dog. That's the reality. This is the bullshit called dog training.
What the hell they're doing, and I wish it was a
Garrett Wing doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. All he's doing is flapping his guns and trying to make money.
Rarity, but we're finding that more than half the dogs that come into our program have been to another dog trainer that failed them. The people in our online...
And you don't fail them? You're cranking and yanking, jerking dogs by the neck, you're shocking the fuck out of them, and you're claiming that this is working. All you're doing is for forced compliance, and this is not fucking dog training. This is not behavior. A dog under full control and management is controlled by a narcissistic dog owner, the unrecognized dog owner, the unrecognized narcissist. All they're doing is going for compilation, control and fucking management. They're trying to control and manage every aspect of their dog's life. I don't control and manage shit. I don't have any expectations of my dog. He knows right from wrong. He's learned right from wrong from breaking my fucking boundaries. He's an independent dog. I guarantee you, you will never see an independent dog walking down 50th Street or a friggin' trunk with no leash on, and you won't see them in dog parks. But yet that's what dog owners want. You're not able to give it to them.
Courses, constantly we poll them. Over 66% of them have wasted thousands of dollars bouncing from one dog.
It's more than that. 66% of dog owners, it's always hire a trainer, because you can't do it on your own. They got you defeated out of the gate before you even begin. They're not concerned about relationships. I am. I have a solid relationship with my dog. I trust my dog 100%. I've earned his trust. I respect my dog 100%. I've earned it. We have confidence. That's what confidence comes from. He's a confident dog because he knows that I have his back everywhere, and I've proven it. If he gets in trouble, I'm right there to step in. That's what gives him confidence to be off leash in the dog parks. Is your dog confident? Because if you don't trust, if you don't respect, you don't have confidence. That's the magical equation of any relationship. If you can't trust, you got no relationship. You're in a toxic relationship, a transactional relationship.
Trainer to the next, because once again, they have no idea what they're doing. And it's no wonder, because there's no national...
Let's get a show of hands. How many people have gone to Garrett Wing's dog training system, then had to hire another trainer? Had to go and spend thousands more on the dog trainer because his system didn't work. We never hear about those stories, but I do. Ivan Balabanoff, I talked to two of his former clients that went through his course, $10,000. Ivan Balabanoff's the same thing. He gets on camera, B.F Skinner and the Quadrants of Dog Training. But yet, his clients got a book at the end of the course. You know what book it was? Konrad fucking Most Training Dogs.
Training that guarantees the type of training you're getting.
Guarantees the kind of training. You can't offer any guarantees, can you? Again, how many people have gone to Garrett Wing and have failed?
You can literally wake up tomorrow and call yourself a dog trainer. And I'm just tired of the hacks. And if this offends you, you're a dog trainer. If you're not, you know...
It offends me, and I'm not even a fucking dog trainer. I focus on behavior, Garrett. You're an asshole, an abusive asshole. You're not going to be able to hide from me much longer, dude. You're going to have to open your mouth at some point and say, hey, you know what? I seen your video, Robert. Here's why I think you're wrong. But you're too cowardly to do it, aren't you? I haven't had one dog trainer yet that actually caught their face on camera and said, hey, Robert, I seen your reaction video. I think you're wrong. And you've seen my fucking reaction videos because I know for a fact, Garrett, that you tell your fucking social media team to keep an eye out for videos like mine. And I know damn well you've seen them, and I know you've been cursing my name under your fucking breath. And I guarantee you, Hans Othman called me a cunt on his fucking camera. You're going to see the cunt come out of me from now on. Have a good day.